Okay, let's get started. Now we are discuss about the Poetics by Aristotle, chapter 8. The unity of plot, not in unity of hero but in unity of action. Aristotle makes two important observations in this chapter. The plot must have a unity. First, the unity of plot doesn't consist in the fact of action dealing with a single hero's life. Homer. Homer, as in all else, surprises meter. Hero too, whether from art of natural genius, seems to have happily discerned truth. In composing the Odyssey, he didn't include all the adventures of Ulysses, such as his warning of Parnassus on his fate madness at the mustering of the host. Incidents between which there was no necessity are probably connected, but they made the Odyssey and likewise the Iliad center round an action that, in our sense of the word, is one. The truth is that just as in the other imitative art, one imitation is allowed of one thing. So in poetry, the story as an imitation of an action must represent one action or a complete whole with its several incidents so closely connected that the transposal or withdrawal of any of them with destroy and dislocate the whole. For that which makes no perceptible change by its presence or absence is no real part of the whole. Chapter 9. Poetry deals with universal poetic truth, poetry and history. Pity and fear. It is evident for what we have said the poet function is to describe not the thing that has happened, what a kind of thing that might happen, what is possible as being probable or necessarily. The distinctions between the historians and the poeticians in the whole writing prose and the other verse. You might put the work of Herodotus into verse and it would still be a species of history. The truth differently consists really in this, that the one describes the thing that has been and the other a kind of thing that might be. Hence, poetry is something more philosophical and of higher significance than history, since at statements are of the nature of universe, whereas those of history are of the nature of particulars. As by universal or general statement, I mean one as to what such a kind of man will probably necessarily say or do, which is the aim of poetry, though it affixes proper name to the characters. In comedy, this has become clearly by um, this time. It is only when their plot is already made up of a man goes through many experiences in his life. He does many deeds. All these cannot be brought together to constitute a play. Aristotle praises Homer in the sense that he chose a single action and not merely a single hero. In writing the Odyssey, he didn't make a poem out of everything that befall the hero. The confused medley of what may be for a man in life, he should not introduce anything into one story. In all other arts, to the artist imitate one thing. In drama, to the dramatistic must imitate a single action, organic unity. Secondly, the unity of plot must involve coherent or organic unity in a living organism. For instance, each and every part has a relationship to one another and a disrupt relationship to the whole. The removal of any one part would disturb the whole and disjoin it. Similarly, it's in a tragedy, the action should be a coherent whole such that the remove of the transposal of any episode from it would tend to joy and the dislocate the whole, and that which makes no perceptible difference by its presence or absence is no real part of the whole. In other words, it's irrelevant and has no place in the play. Aristotle, by implications, doesn't improve of double actions in a play or two action of opposite natures, one tragic and other comic. Thus, the instance insists upon unity of action or the necessity of a single action. Indeed, this is the only unity that he stresses upon. He does not perform the unity of team rigidly. And unity of place he does not mention at all. Okay, do like, shares, and subscribe. Thank you.